die in this cave. Oh. Oh, that's fine. I felt that it suddenly just put me into darkness. It was like a fake light or something. Oh, I was just like, oh no. Oh no. Alright, so... Oh, it is the outside. Oh, it's a moon.
I sat here and watched two jets carve parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Sanford and were lost. If I were a gull, I would abandon my nest and join them. I would starve my brain of oxygen and suffer delusions of transcendence. I would tear the bottom from my boat and sail across the motorways until I reached this island once again.
Why are there candles everywhere? I'm not quite sure. This is worrying.
Of fire and soil, I chose fire. It seemed the more contemporary of the options, the more sanitary. I could not bear the thought of the reassembly of such a ruin. Stitching arm to shoulder and femur to hip, charting a line of thread like traffic stilled on a motorway, making it all acceptable for tearful aunts and traumatized uncles flown in specially for the occasion. Reduce to ash, mix with water, make a phosphorescent paint for these rocks and ceiling.
Right, so I don't know if you saw that, there was like a kidney bowl and some other equipment used in the medical profession, surrounded in like a shrine. Which is all a bit bizarre, to say the least. Oh, I suppose I'm going this way. I think the candles are there to help me know my path, which is nice because it makes it a lot easier, because otherwise in the outdoors it's kind of confusing because you don't really know where you're meant to be going. This is really strange. I don't know what that is, sorry. Is that a picture? What was that noise? Oh, now that I've gone in here, this is lit up. That's clever. Right, so I'm meant to go along there, but let's have a look at what all these candles are. I thought I might be able to zoom in, but... So there's like some... tyres. Oh my god, it's the car. This is kind of getting to really...
There were chemical diagrams on the posters on the walls on the waiting room. It seemed appropriate at the time. Still life abstractions of the processes which had already begun to break down your nerves and your muscles in the next room. I crammed diazepam as I once crammed for chemistry examinations. I am revising my options for a long and happy life.
Right, 1 minute, there's writing here. Plight from heaven shone around this thing. Thing around Sean from light? I don't know. I don't know, I'm sorry. Leave it in the comment if you have any notes on any of the things that I've missed. Or if I don't quite understand what the things are saying. Well, the music's coming back. The moon's
From
going
here,
down
I
as
can
well.
see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
It's really sad. That's actually like nearly brought tears to my eyes. This is horrible. This is so sad. Oh my God, why would they do this to me? Oh, why would you make a game so sad? On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. Right, so it's light. A light, not plight. A light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. So is it, when it gets light, am I gonna die? Oh God. Don't go down, moon! Don't go down. Not yet, I'm not ready. I'm not ready! I'm gonna go down and it's gonna be light and I'm gonna die. Then again, I was meant to die in that cave with my broken femur. Unless he was just stating what had already happened. I think that might well be what had happened, actually. Sorry, I keep getting texts trying to make sure that it doesn't bother me while I'm doing this.
A sound of torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal. As I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine, and the calling from a great height, all my mind as a bypass.
This is really strange. The way he's saying it, he's basically saying it as a poem, as a massive metaphor for roads and cars and the car crash. Obviously. I've been playing this for quite a while now, but
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
and this says, and as he was proceeding on his journey. So it's like, the luminescent paint is saying what's going to happen. Oh God. and was come near oh, this chanting is horrible. I can't read that last word. Adamius? I don't know, there's like loads of words saying something that I couldn't read. Oh, poor luminescent paint. And he... oh. Was...
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
And neither did he eat nor drink. Right, and that says, and 3 days without sight, and neither did he eat or drink. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that may well be some sort of passage from the Bible of some sort, because how Jesus Christ basically died for 3 days and then was resurrected. So it might be something to do with that. 3 days without sight, eat or drink. So basically he was dead for 3 days. And there might be something saying that he was resurrected? I don't know.
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sandford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
It's getting a bit mental now. And it came to pass that as I made my journey up and was come I can't read this without falling off the edge. I can't. I'm sure it will be somewhere else though. Oh god, there's more. It's just everywhere. I can't read it. It's round about me and could not see.
I have dredged these waters for the bones of the hermit, for the traces of Donnelly, for any sign of Jakobsen's flock, for the empty bottle that would incriminate him. I have scoured this stretch of motorway 21 times, attempting to recreate his trajectory, the point when his heart stopped dead and all he saw was the moon over the Sandford Junction. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all, and it was not his fault. It was the converging lines that doomed him. This is not a recorded natural condition. The gulls do not fly so low over the motorway and cause him to swerve. The paint scored away from his car in lines like an infection, making directly for the heart.
Oh, I'm getting a bit stuck on the staircase. Damascus. Oh god, what's that noise? Oh. Or am I coming up to the radio tower? That got pretty dark then as well. He basically thinks there's something supernatural that caused the car crash.
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air, white lines etched into these rocks. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We've always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Oh no. I'm not controlling this, by the way. Oh god. Oh my god.
Come back.
Well, I think that's the end. I'll just wait a little bit in case there's something else. I can still hear the waves and everything. Well, that was intense. I mean, at first had a bit of trouble with it because of, well, you know, with not knowing where I was going. But once it got into it, it was just so intense and it was just amazing. I mean, some people have given it some harsh reviews, basically said, if you haven't bought this game, don't bother buying it because, you know, just watch a Let's Play of it. It's not a game, it's a story. And I was like, that's not very nice. But, I mean, you won't... I found that you won't really be able to get the full message of how intense it actually is unless you play it yourself, so I would suggest buying it. I think it's a little bit overpriced, you know, it's $6.99, so I mean, for the amount of stuff that there is, and there's not really that much gameplay. You're just walking around, you're not really doing anything. So I mean, I think they need to change the price of it a little bit, just so that people are more likely to want to buy it in the first place. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I can't do anything. I pressed escape, it says resume game, or so if I resume, but I don't know if there's anything gonna happen. I'll wait on this for a little bit longer. I'll cut it out obviously if nothing happens, but right, well I think that just about wraps it up. Thanks for watching everyone. This has been Magpie, it's been Dear Esther, been the CorvidCrew. We've been a lot of things today, haven't we? Anyway, so thanks for watching everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Any suggestions on what you'd like to see me play another time or anything like that, please leave a comment or inbox us on YouTube and we'll get back to you. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Well, like our page on Facebook. Everything's in the description. As always, thanks to our lovely Jay. And I'll see you soon. Bye.